Hi, Ben Okri. One thing no one knows about me, the care I take. How different is writing for a film to writing for a book? Say something like a novel. Well, I've only so far written one film. I wrote the text or the script for it and the songs. And I found that writing for film, you use words in a very, in a sparer sort of way. Because I found it necessary not to compete with the images. So I find when I'm writing for film that I try to use words that the images can't capture. I try to do something that images cannot replicate because words are their own universe. And when you have words with images, if words can do what images can do, the words become redundant. So words have to do something that images cannot do. That's when I think they make their richest contribution. Traveling is ongoing, unconscious research. I like traveling without purpose because the things that you learn, the things that could strike you are always surprising. But traveling in relation to writing, I would say for me the most important thing about traveling is the way in which it allows unsuspected aspects of myself to emerge and to live. So traveling is for me a way of being different kinds of unexpected Ben Okris. It depends. Sometimes it's in the mornings before anybody's woken up. Sometimes it's at night when everyone's asleep. I prefer those hours when the energy in the world is freshest. I like the fresh hours. I like the quiet hours. Those are my favorite. Do I suffer from writer's B word? No, I don't have I don't give accommodation to the word in my head or in my life. For me, writing is a perpetual form of play, a perpetual form of dream, a perpetual conversation that I have with the universe. I've had difficulties with writing at certain points, but I found those difficulties to be very productive and the anxiety to be very, very useful. One, to look deeply, to really look. To look without purpose, but to look, to see, to pay attention, to notice things that nobody notices, that nobody suspects you notice, to notice very small, tiny things, to notice vast things. And when I say see here, I also mean hear and feel. I'm talking about the senses. I'm talking about alertness and awareness to your environment. I would say that the writer, one of the gifts I'd like to give the writer in terms of awareness is to be aware even of what is behind you. The second thing I would say is deep inward listening. Most of us don't listen deeply to ourselves. And I don't mean listen to your own conversation. I mean listen, there's a still place inside you where the work comes through most purely. It's very difficult to listen to that. It's not listening to your thoughts because your thoughts are always there. There's a still core, and that when that gazes at the world or when that looks into creativity in the form of a story, it's pretty perfect. It's very hard to get to that place. The third thing I would say is discipline. I think Twitter can actually contribute to literature by getting people to focus more into a shorter space. I've had an experiment with Twitter in terms of trying to write lines of poems within that limitation, and I found it quite fruitful. I wouldn't do it constantly because I don't think that kind of limitation is useful constantly for poetry. Sometimes you need very long lines that just flow. And sometimes you need lines that just stand on their own, one leg, like a crane.